Now, what is the main language you speak at this point?
Definitely English. Yeah, yeah.
And do you speak any other languages aside from English?
No, I know a little bit of Spanish. I grew up in Oxnard, which is primarily a Hispanic community. So I and my mom, even though she is white, she is a Spanish teacher, so I learned Spanish there. I know a tiny bit of sign language, but English is all I can put the best face forward for.
And let's dive a little bit deeper with that. You mentioned Oxnard here, but let's back it all the way up from the very beginning. Now, for those in the audience, getting to know you for the very first time, care to share where you were born?
I was actually born in Santa Barbara, which is in California, US, and then I moved to Oxnard before I can remember. So everything I know growing up is from Oxnard, which is there's beaches, there's strawberry fields, there's mountains like 15 minutes out. So there's all types of terrains and different things going on. But then I went back to Santa Barbara for college, and then now I'm in LA. So everywhere in the south coast of southern part of California.
Okay, so let's just get a little bit more clarification there. All right, so from when you remember it was Oxnard, and then for college it was back to Santa Barbara. So
Hmm.
what age would you say was that? Was that 18 for you?
17, yeah,
17.
yeah.
Okay. And then what age do you go to LA from that point?
I went to LA, I think I was 20 because I remember I lived in LA when I went to Vegas for my 21st birthday, and it was so much fun and we did the most crazy stuff, but that is when I moved to LA kind of during that COVID era for me.
And what was the reason back then for that move in particular?
It was easier to move for me during COVID because classes shifted to online learning and I was able to step back and go have fun and do what I wanted and still be able to do my classes online and get my A's or whatever.
And for those that are familiar with LA, but maybe not familiar with Oxnard or Santa Barbara, how far are those areas from LA, driving distance wise? Rough estimate here.
So you go north, you go an hour, and you're gonna hit Oxnard. You go another hour, and you're gonna hit LA. And I feel like most people that aren't from here, they kind of know about Santa Barbara and they know about LA. So I just say Oxnard is pretty much smack in the middle of the two.
And speaking of ages,
Mm,
care to share your current age at this point?
I'm 24.
And your birthday while you're at it, the month and the day perhaps, in case there's some misinformation online about you.
Hopefully, I don't think there is. It's June 10th. I'm a Gemini, so I got the whole two things going. This kind of also goes back to the Goldiie Lux because of the whole two sides, not this, not that, but just right in the middle.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone, but can you give the audience 5 tips for anyone moving to Los Angeles?
I got a few. I don't know if it's five, but one tip for moving to Los Angeles is do not lose yourself. So many people I know have moved. Most of my friend group is not from Los Angeles, and they move there and they get lost in the sauce. So it's really hard to remember why you moved there and what you moved from. So my main number one tip is to continue to be yourself and remember why you took the risk to move there in the first place. Otherwise, it's all for nothing.
Any other tips?
I feel like that's a big one. That's all they get. No, that's the one for one. I feel like that is it could apply to a lot of different situations, so that's what they get.